All right, welcome everyone to this new session. In this session, we'll talk about a very important component of this spreadsheet, which we call the date function. As we have earlier discussed also, date is a data, it's not text. And every date is actually a number. Any date that you're talking about, you can pick up any date, it's eventually a number. Right. So just to verify that, we can enter any date that I want. We know how to custom the date also, so I'm not discussing that. So if we enter any date, maybe we enter 21 slash 3 slash 2021. So it's a date. All right. It can be changed to any format that accepts words. But if I go to the format cell and change it to a number, it is giving me this number 44276. So exactly what this number means, and I tell you every date that we enter or every date that Excel takes into calculation eventually is a number. Which number you can add certain others numbers with the numbers, you can subtract certain others with the numbers. So basically, if I do this and minus 5, it will give the 5 less. If I go and add this, and it will give. So what this number really means. Now see, everything needs a standardization. So also software do have a standardization. So in a software, at least in the spreadsheets, it has been assumed that 1st January 1900 is the first day. This is the beginning, we can say so. And this is as per a calendar format we call the Gregorian calendar, the calendar that we follow. All right, so this is it. So that means if I convert it to a number, see, it will give me 1. So that means any date that you enter, as I entered this and I converted it into a number, that means so many days has passed since the beginning. That is the implication of understanding. This is just for our knowledge. So if you come to the dash functions, what are the basic functions that you can talk about? Of course, to start with, we have something very interesting we call the today function. So we simply type today, start the bracket, close the bracket, press enter, you get the current date and which will be automatically updated. So I close the particular file today, I save it, tomorrow I open it, it will become 7, next day it will become 8, like this goes. And with time, if I need something called with date, if I need the time also, I have a better function that is called the now function. Alright, so it is giving you date, it is giving you time. Again, these are auto update, so you save it now. These are not dynamic, of course, but auto update once you, because you are using a function. So now you close it, next time you open it, it will give you the current date and time. So two functions that we talked about is today function always extract the today's days, and the now function, as we said, will always give you what I say the current date and time. Okay, there are three more very interesting functions we need to talk about. One is we call the day function, another one is we call the month function, and another one we call the year function. All right, what exactly this day, month, year function? So given a date, date is a composition of three components we know. It has a day component, it has a month component, it has a year component. So if I wish, I can only extract the day. If I wish, only I can extract the month. If I wish, I can only extract the year from a given date. So I delete this one just to remove any kind of confusions. So if we want to extract only the day out of this date, I can simply type day and then insert the date inside whichever cell it is. It will only extract the day, which is 6th. If I enter month, you see, it will only extract the month from that particular table, and if I only type year, it will extract the year from this one. All right. See, so it helps to basically disintegrate the data, and it can be used for different purposes. Also, sometimes it also solves the mystery. Now, if I type this particular thing, it uses different formats. Or if I use this particular date, it's very difficult to otherwise if you don't go to the form itself and look at the formatting. It is a confusing to say which one is the month, which one is the day. Many a times the month comes before the day, many a times day comes before the month, depending on the format that you are standards that you are following. But once you extract the day, doesn't matter it is here or it is here, it will extract the day here. So that removes our confusion, one of the things. Now in another scenario, suppose it's given like that. So suppose day they have given is 4th, month they have given us is 5, year they have given us is 1998. So you see now we got in segregated data of all components. We can integrate them with the help of something we call the date function. So date function, it will keep asking first enter the year. So I click on the year. Then it is asking to enter the month. I enter the month. Then it is asking enter the day. I enter the day. I get my data. Do not get confused about the hash symbol. This only signifies you have run out of the width, so increase the width. Now the interesting now it becomes dynamic. So if I day 7 I put, automatically the date changes. 9 I put, the date changes. Year I put, the date changes. So it makes it absolutely fantastic. So to add on with these two things, what we have considered, we talked about a day function, we talked about a month function, we talked about a year function, and we talked about a date function. Alright. So it's time to now to move on to some sort of exercise to make it more understandable for us, and we'll introduce furthermore functions. Now suppose let us look at this scenario. So these are the gentlemen who has applied for leave today. Okay. So I can write the date here. Today's date I can write here, or today's days I can write here. So let me, I can use the function also, but I may not use the function also. But for the understanding, let me use the function. So today is the date. Now this gentleman has actually applied for 21 days. Suppose we have, if even if it is Saturday, Sunday in between, you do have the, what I say, it will be counted as a holidays if that is the condition, just for understanding. So what will be the date of joining once he completes his leave? So this, and after 21 days, what will be the date? When it is only days to be added with a date, it's an absolutely, you know, nothing to worry about. Simply we click on the date, because in the back of the mind, you will know it's a number. You can simply add it this with 21. You get the joining date. So you can simply add. Here also, Avinash, if it is only days, so you can simply go here. Again, you can take the date and you can simply add the day. Same way you can subtract days also to get an earlier date. You get the joining date. Now, if you talk about the months, you cannot simply convert the months into days. If we could have, we would have. But months, if 3 months doesn't mean 120 days, I'm not sure. 3 months doesn't mean it cannot be 129 days or 131 days. We're not sure. It depends on the months and etc. So it will be confusing. So we have a function to deal with this. We call the edate function, the end of the date function, right? When only months to be added to a date. So I click on the current date and I type the month here, right? It will automatically take care of everything else. It's a 28 days month, 30 days month, 31 days month. We really do not bother. We press enter, we get the date. Now here it's very interesting. They're asking for 2 months and 3 days. Now here I have used a edate function. All right. So here I cannot really apply the edate function because it's a mix of month and days. I know the edate function can be used only in months and we don't have any other options. But days, we know we can simply add the date with the present date. So the manipulation that we'll do here is we'll type the edate function. All right. Then I take the current date and I extend it by 3 days. All right. Now I can take the months, the 2 months, so it will take care of 2 months and 3 days, and I press enter, I get the new date. And if it's a 1 year, 2 month, it's a no-brainer. I can simply use a e-date because 1 year doesn't matter the number of days in a month. Now a year you will find that which will have more than or which will have less than 12 months. So if it is 1 year, 2 months, it's simply I can put 14 months, right? So I put 14 months, I get the end of the date. If it is 3 years, again I can use a edate function, right? And I can take this year into 36, you understand. So I can deal with any combination. If it's a days, months, year, I can take care of it. Wherever needed, I will use the edate function. And if it is a number of days, I can simply add the number of days with the current date. I get the date of the child. So the new addition to the thing is we are calling about the edate function. There are many more functions. We are not going to cover everything right now, but important functions which can help us, you know, do our job. Now this is something very interesting. These are the date of births are given, all right, and I need to age on today. Let us say to make it in years. All right, now in days we can always do it. You subtract one date from another date, it will give you the number of days. So if I take again today as I consider as the current date, of course, till today will count it, and then this can auto update. So if I simply subtract this one from this one, it gives me the number of days, right? Do not be worried about this thing because that is the issue of the formatting. So I can go to the number, it gives me the number of days. All right, and this will be the same if I simply make it an absolute reference. I drag it down, I get it for everyone. But that is not that has been asked. We need in years. So one thing that we have understood, we can extract the year from any date. That we have understood. All right. So if I do it, I get the date. And same if I here do it, I get the date. So if I subtract them, I may get what I need. All right. So applying this concept, if it is needed in years, what I can do, I can type year and extract the year from this one, minus again I type year and extract only the year from this number, and I get my years, that is in 24. All right, I remove the decimals to make it okay. So now I can simply make it absolute and I can drag it down. But I do have an issue here. When it is saying 24 years, it is not really taking care of, have you completed 24? So this is 24th year running, this is 32nd year running, this is 22nd year running, this is 21st year running, and 23 years running, and 26 years running. So but if I need only the complete years, if I need only the complete years, then it may become a problem, because if you look at 17th December 1998, so practically he should be 24 years in 17th December 2028. So he's basically 23 years, few months, 1 month, few days only. So if I really want to calculate the complete years, right? And whatever left, we can take care of it later. So instead of this, the function that we have is, all right, so let me take the date here for better understanding. So let us take the today's date here. I want to take care of the complete years. So it may say that 23 years and maybe he is in the 24th year. So if he is in the 24th year, it is should be considered as, so I take it again from this date, right? And I fix it just to make it and I drag it, so I get it. So if I number of complete years I have to calculate. Number of complete years. Alright. So to calculate the number of a special function we use here, we call it the date difference function. So we type date diff. The date diff function, remember, first I take the starting date, then I take the ending date, then I say in which format I need it. So if I need it in the year format, I put the year argument. Alright, so it gives me the complete year. So it gives me 23 years. Remember this, right? I'm so sorry. Here I have to fix something, that is B2. A9. So let me fix A9 here. And then if I drag it down, let us see it will work or not, because this is some issue. So it is working. All right. Now see, now it's much clearer. So 23 years, because 23 years he has completed, he is running in the 24th year. So it gives me a clearer picture. Remember that I have only segregated this year in terms of complete years. If I wish, I can only calculate the complete months also, instead of Y. If I put the M argument, and so it gives me the complete months. Same way, if I put a D here, it gives the complete day. That can be otherwise also calculated by subtracting this to this. So if I subtract this to this, I get the same number. So you have alternate options for calculating the days. All right. Okay. So I get the same thing. Fine. So basically what I am talking about, the date diff function, if I make it Y, you get the number of complete years. So from it is actually saying 17/12/1998 to 17/12/2021, right? So like that it is working for everything and everything that is working like that. Complete years, you'll have to complete it, then only to count. So problem is that if 23 years also not giving me a clearer picture. So now if I wanted something like this, all right, so if I want something like this, if I want it, so let me simply copy this date here. Okay, so if I write something like this, date of birth, and I put the date of birth here, all right, I can put the date of birth here. So let me copy the date of birth again, all right, and I put the date of birth here, okay, and current day if I talk about, and let us have the today function, right? So I have the today function. So my point that I'm asking is, now if I actually want it in this format, that is in years, in months, and in days. All right. So I would really want to know how many year, how many days, and how many months passed since your birth. So if it's age, I can say 25 years, 1 month, 2 days, something like that. So to segregate it in this format, to calculate the age here, see, first to complete years, I'm going to use simple date diff function. So if I use the date diff function, I get the starting date, I get the end date, then I say give me it in the year format. So it gives me in 23 years. Now to calculate the month after that, 23 years after that, how many months if I have to calculate, we'll have to ignore the year. So again I write a date diff function. Again I am getting the starting date. Then I am giving the finishing date. Now I am saying ignore the year, only calculate the month after December. If it is 2, then how many complete months that we have from 17/12 to 6/2? How many complete months we have? So I say ignore Y, consider M. YM means ignore Y, only calculate the months. It is giving me 1 month. Alright, because from 17/12 2021 to 17/12/2022 is the complete month. So if I make it 17, it will become 2. But right now it is you have completed, after 23 years you have completed 1 more month. Now after that, how many days? All right. So again, I come to the date diff function. All right. Now again, I take the starting date. Again, I take the ending date. Now basically, I have to ignore the month and calculated the days. So MD, and it gives me the result. So see, once I enter a date of birth, it will give me, you know, so I can say that this individual is 23 years, 1 month and 20 days old. All right, so let us move on to another function. So this function, let me add here. This is a very, very important function we call the date diff function. All right, this is the date difference that it calculates. It actually suffices many of the queries. Now, there is a very interesting function we call the weekdays function. When you talk about weekdays function, basically when you talk about the weekdays, okay, see, we really do not understand which day it is, which day it is. By day we mean day will be from Sunday to Saturday, it can be any day, right? So here what happens, I have a function called a weekday function. Weekday function, if you put the date here, all right, it gives you 2. Okay. Again, if you put the date here, then the interesting fact that I'm talking about, by default, it will consider Sunday as 1, Monday is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is by default, it understands, right? So that means if it is returning 2, that means by this format coding, this is Monday. Here also, if I type weekday, right, and I choose this, it is returning 6. So by default, it is Friday. But if you do not like this coding, you say, I really do not want to start from Sunday. I want to start from Monday. So I want it like this, right? So I want it like this because I understand it better. It may happen. So maybe this is you say 1, this is you want 2, this is you want 3, you know, if you want this. But by default, Sunday will be 1 and the rest of the dates are there. Then here, after comma, you'll have to choose that sequence, right? Just a number 1 is Monday. So if I choose number 2 is Monday, then it will give me this particular thing and this will give me a perfect result. Now again, 5th is coming as Friday. Here also, comma, you'll have to give the starting number, right? Monday, if you can start it from Tuesday, you can start from Wednesday, you can start from Monday, and like that. But by default, as I said, by default, your coding will be, if you do not mention that specific sequence, it will consider Sunday as 1. But we do have a better function, right? That is called the text function, right? So if I put the text function, all right, then I put this value and I put the format that I want. Maybe I type D, 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 D. It will give me D in text. So this is more interesting. It gives an absolute clearer picture, right? Again, if I type text, you know, I select this date, then I give D, 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 it will give me in numbers. So you understand now, instead of D, 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 if you give M, 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 what it is, 4 times you'll have to give what it is giving you. And instead of M, 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 if you are giving Y, 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 what it will do to you. As simple as that, fantastic. So let us add the functions again. From date diff, we went into something called weekdays function. Then also we talked about a text function. All right. Now let us move on. Okay. So I want to take you to a scenario to make you understand another important function that we talked about. Right. That is, suppose you are a project manager of a project. So let us understand this is project A that you are working on. So the project, the start date of the project has been decided as today. Let us assume today we are going to start it, or maybe after 10 days we are going to start it. So let me give 10 to 2022. And you will have to end the project You have to end the project by, let us say, 31/7/2022. Right. Now, what happens? The organization, it works, it has got weekly off, so it's 5 day working. Let us assume it's 5 day working, 5 days working, and you are not working on Saturdays and Sundays. You don't work. So, Sat and Sunday off. That means Saturday, Sunday you are not working. So, you need to know how many days you have to finish this particular project when the start day and the end day is specified, where you need to exclude the Saturdays and Sundays. All right. So, for that, the number of working days, if you want to calculate, number of working days if you want to calculate, is simply go to the net work days function. This is the function net work days. You give the starting date, you give the finishing date, you get the net working day, 122 days. Normal difference between these two dates, if you want to calculate, if you want to calculate this minus this, it is coming 171. That means you see how many days, 49 days you have for Saturdays and Sundays. Alright, so 120 days. But one thing we forgot about the holidays, the designated holidays where everybody will have to be given leave. So let me take some hypothetical numbers. Let me take 16/3/2022 may be an holiday. Let us say 17/4/2022 may be an holiday. Let us say 18/5/2022 may be an holiday. Let us take 19/6/2022 may be an holiday. And let us take 27/2022 may be an holiday. We need to take in consideration the holidays also, because in the holidays also we are not going to work. So basically, when I am calculating, but many of the holidays may fall on Saturdays or Sundays. Let us check it is the case or not, right? So let us take text. I can convert it into days just for checking here, right? So this is Wednesday, no issues. If I drag it down, so there are 2 Sundays, you see, 2 holidays are on Sundays. So practically what will have, you will deduct 3 days from it. So it actually should come around 119 days, even if you have 5 day holidays, because 2 holidays are falling on Sunday, certain holiday may. So that it's complicated. So the best way to do it is, I write the complete function. So I go to the network days, I give the starting date, I give the finishing date, then I give the list of the holidays. It will automatically take care of the Sundays and the Saturdays and won't exclude something already been excluded. So what do you get? 119 days. But the problem is, if I am 6 day working, for 7 day working we don't have anything. Who is agreeing every day, nothing to be calculated. Simply see, if somebody is 7 days working, that means what? You only exclude the number of holidays that you have. You know, you don't really need a function. You can simply subtract the starting date, the finishing date from the starting date, you get the number of days, exclude the holidays because you're working 7 days. But if I'm working Sundays and it happens to be Sunday, then the things will change, because the net workday function that we have used, only it will automatically exclude the Saturdays and the Sundays. So I have an improvised function for this called net workdays international .intl. The process is same with an extra argument. I go to the start date, I go to the finish date, then I put a comma. It is throwing up me lot of options, right? So we are not working on Sunday, so I can choose Sunday only. So Sunday only, and rest follows the same. So here it will only exclude Sundays and holidays. It will give me the date 144 days working. Now again, if you come to the third option again, you will see it is giving you a lot of different sequences that you will understand. So normally you are not working on Saturday and Sunday if it's a 2 days weekend. But if you are not working maybe on Sunday and Monday, you will have to choose this option. If you are not working on Monday, Tuesday, it will choose that option. And if it's a single day, not working day, if it is Sunday, you will have to choose Sunday. If you will to Monday, you will choose Monday, and like that it will work. Alright, but you know, there is another issue that we'll have to deal with before we move on. And I move it to the end. Now suppose the The holidays remains the same. Starting dates remains the same. Right. Now they're not asking for it, they're asking the end date from you. So you'll have to tell them. They said, okay, you start the project, you end the project. Right? Any project management when you go. So when you can finish it. You have been given a job, you have to start on this day. When can you finish it? What is your commitment and which day you are handing over the project to us? So I need the end day here, the date. So because I'm definitely, if the project is given to, I'm the expert of the project, I know this work how many days it needs. So maybe we have calculated we need 145 working days to complete it. When I'm saying days means working days, which should exclude your holidays and etc. So these many working days is needed to complete this particular project. So I'll have to give an end date where I'll consider the holidays also and everything also. So absolutely alternative to the net work days function, we have another function we call the workday function. Right. Now workday function, you click on the start day. Then it is automatically asking for days. That means how many days you need. 45, I need this many days and I'm considering the holidays. So again it is giving me, the date. Do not get afraid if you're getting a number. You simply go to the format cell and change it to a date format of your liking. So you can commit that 6 September 2022, you can hand off that project. Again, workday function used on the premises that you are not working on Saturday and Sunday. So if you're working on Saturday and Sunday, only if you're if you're only working on Saturday but not working on Sunday, you have that alternative that is called Workday International. It goes exactly same. Starting date, then you get the duration, then you get your option that is Sunday only, then you give the holiday list, bingo. So you are finishing it early. All right. So there are few more functions that we can talk about, just like another function that we'll talk about, last day of the month. Now, last day of the month, if you have to calculate, this is basically the function any month, the last day of this month. So you can calculate, that is, if this is the date as given, you get the end of month option. Click it. Then if you give 0, it gives the current month end of month date. If you give it 1, it will give the next month's end of month date. If you give it -1, it will give you the previous month's end of the month. That can be converted into day and that can be converted into any other things. Okay, now here another very interesting aspect is called the quarter. Right, so I'll come to the quarter later because Excel do not have any function to calculate the quarters. So we'll have to manipulate it to do it. So far I have understood, we have hopefully understood this very important functions because this will be used. So we talked about text function, we talked about net, we talked about net workday function and the variation, the international, we talked about workday function, we talked about the end of month function, and this is what we call the universe of the date function. As we move on, we'll keep on adding few more important date functions as and when we encounter certain scenarios. For the timing, I think this will suffice. Thank you very much. Happy learning.